Hey guys, welcome back to Fowler's Free Time. I'm your host Chris Fowler, and tonight we're going to be doing mackerel in coconut sauce. So before we begin, let me ask you a question. That fish that you're about to cook, do you know where it came from, or who caught it, or how they caught it, or how long it stayed in their freezer before it reached your supermarket basket and then your kitchen? Because I can answer all of those questions for my fish. And if you give me 2 minutes, I'll show you how I caught it.
Almost. Alright, got him. Woo! Thank you. Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
So thanks for sticking around. I'd also like to say thank you to Andy, aka Yak Ninja, for inviting me to come and catch fresh mackerel with the South Florida Kayak Fishing Club. You guys are great. So, the rest of the ingredients that we're going to need tonight, we're going to have scallion, thyme, a Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm using cherry tomatoes, or maybe these are grape tomatoes, but you could use plum tomatoes, any small type of tomatoes. Garlic, onion, black pepper, cornstarch, coconut milk, and salt. Okay, real quick, before we actually continue, what we need to do is flip our fish over, and we're gonna take a knife and we're gonna cut down the center, and we're gonna cut this in half right along where you see the pin bones, because we want to do two things. We want to remove the bones, and we also want to remove as much of the red meat that's along that spine. So you don't want this red meat, and you don't want these bones. So make sure you cut those out, and then you can cut this into more manageable portions. So this is actually what you want. This is a portion size, and you can see that we removed both the spine and the red meat along the spine. Okay, so now we've got our portioned out mackerel fillets. I left the skin on. Don't be weirded out, it's a very thin skin and there's no scales. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our cornstarch and we're going to sprinkle that on and coat these. So there we go. Now we've got our 4 pieces and they are covered in cornstarch. And cornstarch actually does 2 things. One, it helps form a crust on the fish itself. But 2, the little bits of cornstarch that fall off help to thicken the gravy. Brilliant. Listen, guys, I fucked up. If you're following along carefully, what did I miss? I missed my opportunity to salt and pepper the fish before I sprinkled them with the cornstarch. But it's not the end of the world. The sauce, as you will see, is going to be more than flavorful enough and savory enough to make up for the lack of seasoning on the fish itself. Okay, so we're going to add the coconut milk to a pan, to a small sauce pot. Our coconut milk is simmering away, so we're going to start seasoning this up. Let's throw in this is the Scallion and the Scotch Bonnet. Our thyme, I'm going to toss that in. And we've got our tomatoes, toss that in. All of the garlic, so let's start pressing in some and sprinkle some salt. Sprinkle some black pepper. Stir that up. I think I was a little heavy on the black pepper, but yeah, we'll make it work. Right now, this sauce, as you can see from what's dripping off the spoon, is not very thick compared to the coconut milk that came out of the can. We're going to reduce this a little bit, and while we're doing that, you may see the coconut milk start to take on a pinkish hue from the tomatoes that have been added. That's normal. Okay, watch me now. We're going to take you off of the tripod. Let's take a quick peek inside the pot, and it's bubbling away. Coconut milk is reducing. It's slowly getting thicker. It's taking on the flavor of all of that seasoning that we threw in there. All right, fam, it's been a couple of minutes. We're just stirring this around, making sure that it's not burning at the bottom or on the sides. And now we're gonna literally put this on the back burner as we start working on the fish. I think I might have to zoom out a little bit. Stand back. Oh, I guess the pan wasn't hot enough. Well, shit. I'm gonna continue putting the fish in there. It's getting late. I'm a little less patient than I should be. And one of the best things about mackerel is how thin it is and how quickly it cooks. So these haven't even been in there very long. And I'm just gonna start flipping them over because you can start to see them going a little opaque on the sides. And as I said, we're not fully frying them, just getting them started here. How do you know when your fish is cooked? Take a quick look at the center of the fish right here. You see how from the top to the middle we're going white, opaque, and then the center is still a little translucent. Means we're cooked about halfway through. And we're actually not going to cook this the whole way through, so we're going to take this off right about now and continue with the recipe. Okay, so these are probably, I'd say 75% of the way cooked through. And what's nice is that they're still intact, and you can see that they're starting to get a nice golden color on them. So keeping that pan on and hot, we are now going to throw in our onions and saute them in the same pan. Hopefully we have enough oil in there so they will saute properly and not burn. Okay, you fried up your onions. They look a little bit caramelized. Not gonna say burnt, but yeah, all right, that's good. Now, on our other burner, our sauce is actually going to get thrown on top of that. And wow, look at that. So if you thought it was reducing fast before, look at all that bubbling up now. And it's really going to reduce faster now. Sorry. So we're reducing fast now. And the onions are mixed with the sauce. This is a wicked sauce. Yeah. All right. But of course, it's mackerel in coconut sauce. So now it's time to put our mackerel back in there. And so we're just gonna kind of put it back in there. Yeah, make a little pocket as you go along. Try not to break up the fish as you put it in there. And you know, we're gonna carefully spoon some of that mixture on top of it. By the time you're done, you should almost be asking yourself, wait, where the fish then? Where did the fish go? Because the fish should be completely covered by this wonderful sauce that you just spent 25 minutes crafting. The heat from that coconut sauce on top of the already mostly cooked mackerel is enough for it to now be fully cooked, but not overcooked. And there you have it, mackerel in coconut sauce. And I've chosen to serve it with some boiled green bananas and some fluffy white rice. All right, well, that took entirely too long, but through the magic of editing, I will try to keep it below 15 minutes for you guys. But what I've got here is a dish that makes me proud because it was taught to me by my mother. It symbolizes something that I would get at home where my father would catch fresh fish, my mom would cook said fresh fish, and the entire family would gather and chow down. It's just, it's a taste of home for me. And since we don't have smell-o-vision and I can't deliver this, I'll give you a little preview. The flesh of the fish is very light. It's not tough. I can tell that it's undersalted because I didn't put the salt directly on the fish before I added the cornstarch, but the sauce makes up for it. The sauce is savory and it's flavorful. And this rice that I chose to use, jasmine rice, is absorbing this coconut sauce very well. And the green banana is just a nod to the heritage of a Jamaican dish that this is based on, which is Mackerel Rundown. And so I think this was a success, and I do hope that you find it interesting, you make it, and let me know how you do. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.